guys that don't know, this is Ryan Nall. He played for us in 2013 in our state championship team. Went on to Oregon State and had a pretty spectacular career at tailback. For all you Duck fans that are in here, you know him pretty well, okay? He's just signed his second contract with the Bears. He got a one-year deal. It's a big year for him, contract-wise, because that fifth year in the NFL means a lot of money when you retire, okay? So, I'm saying all that just as an introduction, but the more important thing about Ryan, guys, he is one of the most humble, hardworking, just amazing people I've ever met in my life. He just gets it. I was sharing with Coach Gunther a story. We were talking about turnovers and stuff. So we're playing in the state championship game against Jesuit. We got a 10-point lead with about a minute and change to go. You got a guy like this, you give him the ball, right? Kind of burn the clock out. Well, Ryan's working and doing what he does. He gets knocked around, 2 or 3 guys around him, and I'm yelling, "Go down, go down, go down!" And one of the kids from Jesuit rips the ball out, and they recover it. And I'm like, "Oh shit, why did we give him life?" So Ryan comes off, and I'm like, "Ryan, man, just go down." And he looked right at me, and goes, "Coach, they're pretty good football players over there." And I was just like, in that moment, to have that awareness and that respect for your opponent, even when it was Jesuit, because nobody except Declan likes Jesuit. We know that, right? Okay. All right. But I texted Ryan last night and asked him. Ryan lives in Happy Valley, right? So he's a ways away, and he said, "Coach, I'll be there." Right? That's the kind of guy he is. So Ryan played in this game in 2014, right? A North victory. Okay, and so I asked him to come and kind of share his journey, because it may not look like it, but when Ryan was in high school, he had 3 offers, one from Portland State, one from Wyoming, and one from Oregon State. And when coaches would come through, I'd say all the things I just said, and I'm like, and if I put Ryan at any position on the field, he would be the best guy on our team. Would you agree, Coach Hampton?
Very much so.
Offensive line, quarterback, safety, didn't matter. He would have been the best guy on the field. And all these coaches are like, I don't know if he's a tight end. I don't know if he's a running back. I don't know if he's a linebacker or a safety. And I would say, well, what I know is he's a fucking football player. And he'll never disappoint you. So far so good, Ryan. You haven't disappointed me. But I asked him to come out and share his journey, because that's a part of his journey, kind of being overlooked. Okay? So give it up for Ryan here, guys.
Well, first of all, that was too much. I appreciate you there, Coach. Yeah, so, I mean, Coach Fine asked me to come out here and just kind of share with you kind of my story, my journey, and then kind of tell you what I learned from not only my experiences, you know, college football in the NFL thus far, but also playing in this Les Schwab Bowl that I played in myself. So, just start with high school at Central Catholic. You know, I wasn't a 4-year starter on varsity or anything like that. I played freshman football my freshman year, and I swung JV my sophomore year. And it wasn't until playoffs I got an opportunity to play. And kind of from that point on, my older brother was actually, you know, the starting DN or whatever at the time, and he got hurt. So I filled in for his shoe, and then from that moment on, it was kind of game over. And I just, from then on out, I was kind of starting varsity and playing both ways, all this kind of stuff. And like Coach Pine said, I was kind of overlooked in the recruitment game. Could I have done more? Maybe. Probably could have gone to some Spark training camps, night camp, elite camp, flown across the country, put more tape out, all that kind of stuff. But at the time, I didn't think of it. I didn't think of doing all that extra stuff, and I was just hoping that, you know, my game would speak for itself. And I think it was going into my senior year. I think I only had like Portland State and Wyoming, and I remember at this point in time, Coach Pine was telling Oregon State, like, hey, you offered this kid, he's pretty much going to guarantee commit on the spot. So we go down to this camp, and not to my own horn, but I was tearing kids up left to right, offense, defense, scoring touchdowns, making tackles and stuff. It was not pads, all kind of stuff. And sure enough, the next morning, Coach Riley, who was the head football coach at Oregon State at the time, gave me a call and offer, and I was giddy. I was unbelievable. I was crying. I woke my mom up. It was unreal. And I almost committed on the phone right then and there, but we figured that we would make it official and go down and meet them, all that kind of stuff. So then from there, we had a great senior season. To his point that he made in the championship game, I was dog tired, and I knew that I had the backing of my teammates and great coaching and all that goes into it, that we would come out on top. So then from there, the Les Schwab Bowl, I'll get to that at the end actually, because I want to kind of wrap up with that. But from there, going to my freshman year at Oregon State, and like he said, they didn't know where to put me. They were going to try me at tight end. They were going to try me at the H-back type. They were going to play me at running back. They almost moved me to linebacker, and they just didn't know. And I told them, I was like, hey, whatever you guys need, I'll do. I don't care. And my first year under Coach Riley, I redshirted. I redshirted, so I was on scout team. I paid my dues, got in the weight room, early wake-ups, all that kind of stuff. And coaching change happened. And new coaching staff came in. They were like, okay, I think we're going to move you to tight end. So I'm like, all right, let's do it. I bulked up. The heaviest I ever stepped on a scale was 258 pounds. My big ass trying to run routes and stuff like that, like it wasn't for me. So, but I did it anyways because I knew that was what was best for the team. So going into fall camp, there was a couple injuries, and they obviously had seen my tape and my high school tape and practice film, all that kind of stuff. So they knew that I played running back, and I had some snaps in practice and stuff earlier. So they were like, "Hey, we need you. You come play running back." And a couple plays later, made a few plays, and they're like, okay, we're gonna put you at running back. But then at that point, our starters and stuff had gotten healthy and came back, and so for me, I didn't think of it as like, okay, they just messing with my head. I was like, no, I'm gonna stay the course, stay to the grind, and when I get my opportunity, I'm gonna take advantage of it. Sure enough, can't remember which week it was, but we're playing Stanford. Our starter running back gets hurt, and they say, you're in. One run, 15 yards, almost broken. Run the play again, boom, same thing, almost broken. We're on the 5-yard line, boom, punch it in. And basically from that moment on, I became the starter for Oregon State. So that was my second year going into there. And then, a couple years down the line, we got the Oregon game for all the Oregon fans. Sorry, but I had to do my thing there. and yeah, so I did have a good career, and for me, at the time, we were going to go through another coaching change, so I decided to leave and go to the NFL. After some talks and some thoughts with my family, with coach, with other coaches and stuff, we just thought it was time to move on because I didn't want to transfer, and I wanted my legacy at Oregon State to be what it was. So going into that, I trained here. I was still in school, so I was going back and forth to Oregon State, and I was training at Nike. And sure enough, kind of back to that underrated, overlooked. I had people telling me like, oh, day 3 guy, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th round, maybe undrafted. Some guys are like, oh, you got good potential, 3rd round, 4th round. I really see that for you. I'm hearing all this different stuff, and to me, it's just like going in one ear out the other. Like I'm just gonna stick to what I've been doing to where it's got me to where I am today, and that's just been outworking and staying humble. So I go undrafted, and I was talking to a couple of you guys about it. Did anybody remember Mark Helfrich from Oregon, the head coach, right? So he had gotten an offensive coordinator job in Chicago, and fortunately for me, tearing up Oregon had some help aiding me into the NFL because he saw my potential. He knows what kind of player I am, and they ended up signing me as an undrafted free agent. And from there, same kind of thing. I had my agent talking to me, and I had other people around the league talking like, oh, you could really make the team. If you work hard, you do all this kind of stuff, you got a real shot to make the team. Their running back room is thin, all this and that. And sure enough, I go out in preseason. I have a pretty good preseason. I had a couple long runs, I had a touchdown, all this kind of stuff, and they cut me. They put me on practice squad, and I was hurt at the time. But then, as soon as it was go time, I was like, okay, this is the situation. How am I going to get through it, or how can I make it better? So I grinded on practice squad, doing the scout team and stuff all year. My whole rookie year, and going into my second year. Fortunately, a lot of people don't know is that you have to re-sign with the team at that point. So I was fortunate enough to get re-signed with the team for basically to come back for next camp. And same kind of thing. I'm doing my thing in the off season. I'm grinding. I'm working. I'm staying hard. Sticking to the whatever I'm just trying to say. Anyways. Get to fall camp, same kind of thing. Oh, you got a good chance to make the roster this year. You got a really good chance. We're looking thin. Oh yeah, they drafted a kid, but they cut somebody else, this and that. Same kind of deal. Good couple preseason games, come to cuts, and they told me the reason they cut me was because they wanted to keep this another back that had kick return potential. And in my mind, I'm thinking we got the best returner in the game right now, Cordell Patterson. He's one of the best returners of all time behind Devin Hester. And so I get cut, put on practice squad again. And back to what I was saying about waiting for opportunity, just like at Oregon State. For me, in the league, it's been a year and a half, and I haven't even sniffed the field. I haven't even seen a uniform in a Bears jersey for a regular season game. And sure enough, one of the running backs that we had signed, they weren't playing him for some reason, and they ended up cutting him. And then they brought me up to the active roster, and from then on out, I've been on active roster. And like Coach said, I finished last season, and I'm going into a contract year again, really. This time for a serious one, and I just wanted to come out here and just show you guys that, like, even if you are overlooked, if you're underrated, it doesn't matter. Hard work will get shown. They say that quote, you see work done in the dark is shown in the light. I really truly believe that. And even if your path is that you got to go to JUCO first, there's plenty of guys on our team right now that have gone to JUCO and then gone elsewhere. So to bring it back to Les Schwab Bowl, I wanted to touch on that kind of my experiences going through there as well. And honestly, I remember the game a little bit, but I don't really remember else like this. Like what I remember is joking around with guys in the dorms and playing games, and we had this one time we were freestyling, and imagine how bad that was. So it's like that. So that's kind of what I want to just let you guys know. It's just like, don't take this stuff for granted. Like I've got relationships and that lasted me years beyond this. And unfortunately, I don't keep in touch with them anymore, but I wish I would have. And things like that. So like you guys are a North team, right? So what, you guys got like a collective group? What do you guys call yourselves? North. All right, so there you go. We called ourselves the Nutty North, and we the Nutty North. Like you can be an after, and shit like that. So like another thing was like we'd do the haka. We had a couple Polynesian players on the team. So we'd come out before and we did the haka, and I don't even remember if we won the game or not. We did. Okay, yeah, so we did. But it's just like moments like this, like just cherishing the little things and just having fun. And for some of you, the reality is you may never strap up again, right? So when you're out there, leave it all out. And just have fun. And for the guys that are going on to the next level, don't take this for granted. Like it's a great experience and memories that you'll have for the rest of your life. So honestly, if